कि भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे।
President Ramnath Kovind has just reached the residence of Sushma Swaraj. There in the pictures, the daughter of Sushma Swaraj and her husband, in fact, meeting the President of India. Remember, the President, before becoming the President of India, was with the Bharatiya Janata Party, worked closely with Sushma Swaraj, the first citizen of the country right now, paying his respects to former Foreign Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. Polumi Saha with me on the broadcast. Polumi, the President has in fact just reached the residence of Sushma Swaraj to pay his condolences from the first citizen to in fact the entire country right now, everybody mourning the loss of a beloved leader.
Absolutely. There are tributes pouring in from across the country, not just the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, even from across the political spectrum, and people from all walks of life. And the common citizenry of this country is completely, mourning the fact that they've lost a very beloved leader, someone who had endeared herself to everyone, touched so many lives. And right now, we just saw a short while ago the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Anil Baijal, come in and pay his last respects to the departed leader. Also, what we're expecting is that the Prime Minister, Ankit, we can tell our viewers now, is expected to be at her residence at 9:30 a.m. this morning. So in about half an hour from now, the Prime Minister will be here to pay his last respects to Sushma Swaraj, his former cabinet colleague and someone who he has worked with closely in the Bharatiya Janata Party. And then, of course, we're told that he will also be attending the funeral, the cremation of the departed leader at Lodhi Crematorium this evening as well, which is expected to happen at about 3 p.m. In fact today. So that is expected. The President right now, Ramnath Kovind, is in fact paying his last respects to, of course, the departed leader. We're seeing a stream of politicians who are in fact driving in right now as we speak. We've seen members of parliament like Ravi Kishan, like Rajiv Pratap Rudy, Hema Malini come in as well, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi in our frames right now, Ankit, who is in fact going in to pay his tribute as well. Kailash Vijayvargiya was here a short while ago paying his last respects to Mrs. Sushma Swaraj as well. For the party, overall, this has been a huge shock. They did not anticipate it in any way, because it was not like, there was news or information of the fact that she was keeping unwell or, her health was in poor condition. Yes, it was very delicate after her kidney transplant surgery, as is the case with very sensitive surgeries like that. But obviously, she had been working even after that. That surgery happened in December 2016, but that did not mean that Sushma Swaraj in any way chose to relinquish, her responsibilities as the External Affairs Minister of this country, something that the Prime Minister, in fact, pointed out in the tweet that he put out yesterday, the series of tweets that he put out yesterday as his condolence message. He said that it did not stop her. She constantly kept monitoring her ministry's work, kept in touch with everyone while she was recuperating from her surgery at her residence. She kept tab of what was happening as well. A very interesting anecdote as to how invested she was in the process as well. We know of episodes when she's brought, Indians who have been relinquishing in Pakistan, back to India, reunited them with their families as well. That takes a lot of diplomatic back and forth with a hostile neighbor like Pakistan. And she was successful at that. And hence, all of those people today are mourning her loss as well, because she's somehow directly connected with them. When the Kulbhushan Jadhav verdict, for instance, came in from The Hague in the Netherlands, she spoke with Kulbhushan Jadhav's parents, because despite the fact that she was no longer the foreign minister of the country, and she probably didn't need to do that anymore, she spoke with Kulbhushan Jadhav's parents. And very recently, Harish Salve recounted how just last evening, when he was speaking to the media, he said that last evening at 8:50 p.m. because we have news that she in fact suffered that cardiac arrest at about 9 p.m. 8:50 p.m. 10 minutes before that, she was on a phone call with Harish Salve, and she was telling him, come and take that 1 rupee from me that I owe you. 1 rupee for fighting the case at the ICJ. The Kulbhushan Jadhav case, Harish Salve had charged a token sum of ₹1, which of rupee 1, which Sushma Swaraj had promised him, and she told him, come take that money from me, I owe it to you. And that is how invested she stayed in the process, and that is how elated she was over the verdict in the Kulbhushan Jadhav case as well, which came in from The Hague as well. And then, of course, yesterday, her last tweet, which came in at 7:23 p.m. today. Subramaniam Swamy right now, Ankit, who's going in with his wife to pay his tribute to, the departed leader, the beloved leader as well. Subramaniam Swamy has a bit of a, frictional relationship with a lot of leaders, not just across other opposition parties, but within the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. But I've never heard him speak ill of Mrs. Sushma Swaraj at all. He only always said that she was very endearing. She was very the fact that she was very invested in what she was doing, and she was very approachable. You could disagree with her, she could disagree with you, but she would continue to argue with you logically, in a civil fashion, and in a fashion where she patiently heard you out and your point of view. She was not aggressive. She was not trying to impose her point of view on you or try to have you convinced in the next half hour about what she was saying. And that is what Indira Jaising pointed out as well, that she had several disagreements with Mrs. Sushma Swaraj in the wake of the Nirbhaya case about the laws that were framed in 2013 at the time that she was leader of opposition, and all of these advocates were looking to Sushma Swaraj to sort of vociferously put their case across in Parliament. She disagreed with many things, but she was very civil and she was very affectionate, and everyone today is fondly remembering those times and those encounters with Mrs. Sushma Swaraj as well. And that just goes to show, how loved she was across the political spectrum. Yesterday, not just BJP leaders from other opposition parties as well reached AIIMS hospital as soon as news broke that she had, passed away. Ghulam Nabi Azad was at the hospital.
Yes.
This morning, Mayawati came in, Derek O'Brien came in, several other leaders. I've seen Satyavrat Chaturvedi of the Congress party go in as well. Rahul Gandhi was one of the first few to tweet about his condolences as well. So that is what everyone said, that we may have been from opposite sides of the political spectrum, but she somehow had a way of, reaching out to them, trying to be civil with them and have a civil conversation where you can disagree, but you can do it in a way that is, that doesn't break relations.
Polumi, stay on with me. Let me also bring in Milan Sharma on the broadcast. Milan, you are also at Sushma Swaraj's residence. As Polumi was telling us, slew of political leaders reaching there. We just saw Lok Sabha chairperson as well, the Lok Sabha chair Om Birla also, in fact, at the residence to pay their respects. Aishwarya, it's at this point of time, it would be not only the important political leaders, but also the common people of the country, those who would want to pay their respects to Sushma Swaraj.
Well, definitely, Ankit. Just imagine you are in some foreign land and you are stuck, but you have the assurance that if you reach out to your foreign minister, if you tweet to her, she will get back and you will be put out of your misery. Now, that was the kind of impact that the former external minister, Sushma Swaraj, had. And this is the reason why we have seen the kind of outpour, not just political leaders, not just leaders from the opposition. We're also seeing how many important celebrities are also, we have seen a slew of tweets from them coming out, all of them saddened by this sudden demise. She was ill, however, but people were not expecting her to pass away. And what we are hearing now, Ankit, is that the Prime Minister too would be coming within minutes here to pay his last respects. People too would be given time. Her body would be taken to the BJP headquarters, where people will be given time to pay their last respects. We have seen since late last night how a slew of people, first people reached AIIMS, and now people are coming to her house to pay their tributes. A leader of her stature gone away too quickly. People finding it very hard to believe that Sushma Swaraj, a beloved leader who gave a humane touch to the External Affairs Ministry, is no longer with